Cindy Mah with me. She is the owner and operator of Soul Provider Healing Arts and Spiritual Work. I have known Cindy for, a number of years. I lose track of the years, Cindy. And we have worked together mainly through the Burnaby First United Spiritual Church. We've done lots of readers' nights together and psychic fairs together. Yeah. You're a great healer. I know that. I love the way I actually love watching Cindy work. I absolutely love watching her work. I love watching her give messages, and I love getting healings from her and messages from her. She gives very just beautiful messages. Now, did I miss anything? Is there anything else you want to add, Cindy?
No, that's a wonderful introduction, actually. Lovely working with Jody Ann because she's a wonderful, what she calls a self-identified witch. And her talent and how we work together it's amazing, and how we exchange and share the energies together at the church and at other fairs as well. So it's so wonderful to have me along tonight. Thank you, Jody.
I'm glad to have you here. This is going to be fun. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your healing work that you do?
My healing work, I based it out of Reiki.
Yes.
Reiki is my main modality, only because a lot of people know what Reiki is. They may not experience it, but they know the word Reiki. And it's international. You could have Karuna Reiki, you could have shamanic Reiki, but you have all these different branches of Reiki. And I find that Reiki is very expandable. It allows you to harness the energy of source, from source. And when I do my work, I just channel that loving energy from source through me and to the recipient. And I find that very effective. Whereas I'm not putting any other modalities down, but I find that other modalities for me, it limits my ability to be of service. And I would like to be more of service. So Reiki was perfect for me. It works very well for me.
Well, I've had healings from you, and you channel huge energy. Like I say, I love watching you work. You're one of the people I love watching work. And you're doing readings. So that's one thing you were saying about how the business name includes both your spiritual work and your healing work, because you provide both. You do readings, really good readings, and you do the healings. So when I first met you, this is why I'm going to ask this, because I think it's interesting. When we first met, you were just dipping your toe in the water. And now you are out there, you're working, you're doing everything. So do you want to talk to me a little bit about that transition, about what it was like when you started stepping into that role of being of service and stepping into that role of going, okay, I'm not just going to read for my friends. I'm going to expand this and I'm going to offer this to clients.
Actually, it was before dipping my feet in the water, I was just dabbling. I was just interested in the whole subject of the unknown, what they call the dark side. Right? I was wanting to learn how to scry. I wanted to learn how the mirror could be the portal. I wanted to learn all those cool stuff that we see on the TV in shows, in metaphysical shows. So because of all that fascination that I had, and it sparked that interest in me, I never ever thought that those interests I've had would turn into a practice. I go, what? I'm here now. I was going, no, I was just dabbling. I was just kind of, playing around, just, and and the progression. And when I started working on this, I'd never set out to become anything.
Let alone an amazingly, like, I think the word I want to say, like, there's a humility when you're giving messages. Like, I find your ego is right out of the way and you are 100% of service. Like, I'm repeating the words you've said, but that's what it feels like when you connect, that your whole goal is for your client.
Exactly. It's for them. It's for whatever healing they need, whatever comfort they need. I am there to provide them something that's uplifting. And if they had a bad day, I would say, how can I help you? What can I do to take that burden off your shoulder? As a medium, I find that if I can just show them that someone's walking alongside with them, and to just show them that their loved ones are helping them through, and they don't have to feel that they're going at this alone, then I will have served my purpose for that day.
I'm going to circle back because I find one of the things that's interesting is you were saying you weren't even just dipping your toe in, you were just dabbling, like that you were so curious and interested about all these different scrying and the different modalities and the idea of psychicness that you saw on TV. And I just want to say to everyone in the Earbud Coven, if you're here, it's not for no reason. Like, we're drawn to the things that resonate with us, I believe. And I believe a lot of times we come to this place of curiosity because it does tie in with our life path, and it does tie in with our gifts and who we are at our core and who we're here to be.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big believer in you do what you're drawn to.
I know lots of stuff about you because you're my friend. So I'm not even going to do this gracefully. I'm just going to say, so tell me about the paranormal stuff you're doing because I'm super cool. And I know that's a new venture for you.
Yes, absolutely. You can be blunt if you like. I know we've had very candid conversations. And I know we've had some conversations that are very direct. So come at me. I'm making waves, not just dipping my foot in the water. The water's gonna make you making waves,
Yay!
So
I love waves.
Well, I have the waves. Let's make waves. So yeah, the paranormal stuff. It's again that was a fascination that I've had since I was elementary school. It went that far back. I believe I was like 8 or 9 years old. I was in Chinatown, Vancouver, Chinatown, in Strathcona. Strathcona is one of the neighborhoods attached to Chinatown, Vancouver. And when I was a little girl, I was in this little library. Still exists to this day. And I was on the second floor. And so I had a book in my hand. I sat down on the ledge and I looked down. This was dark. I'm not too sure if it was evening or late afternoon. I'm not sure, but I do remember how dark it was.
Right.
And I looked down and I realized that there was a figure walking along the sidewalk. It had a little hood. If I could recall, the attire was like of a robe, right? Okay. I noticed that this figure was floating alongside the sidewalk. No legs.
Not walking.
Yeah, no legs. It was just floating along. Like I go, okay. I thought nothing of it. I was a kid, right? I thought it was normal. It just stuck to me. Just you would think an 8, 9-year-old would or I would not remember anything when I was 8 or 9 years old, but I do because this is so profound. And later on, I think it was in my 20s, maybe late teens, that I discovered what the paranormal was. There was the other side, and there's the spirits, and this, I was going, oh, watching all these horror flicks and supernatural shows. I go, oh, those ghosts. Why are ghosts? Oh, cool. Okay, so that opened me up to the fascination of what ghosts are. I thought, going, did I see a ghost? Was that a ghost, a spirit I saw when I was a little girl? And when I started researching what ghosts were, like at that time when I was a teenager, nobody talked about it. I just kept everything to myself.
Okay.
And so as I did my research, and I was saying, I believe I did see a ghost because of it fit all the criteria of what spirits were and what ghosts are. And it was, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I could say I've experienced a sighting and didn't even know. So that kind of snowballed into my fascination in the paranormal. And alongside with that, parallel to that fascination, were watching what I didn't know were mediums on TV, contacting or talking to the dead.
Yes.
And I said to myself, there's people who talk to dead people. I go, whoa, this just blew my mind. This was when I was a teenager. I just kept it to myself still, and into adulthood, because nobody around me were talking about it. So it was just a fascination, wishful thinking, and until recently, I just brushed it off to the side. Until recently, I joined a paranormal investigation team where I was a guest investigator. Beforehand. I joined into a few investigations. I thought, this is crazy.
What was crazy about it? Tell me more.
It's crazy because this is what I always wanted to do. This is what I always wanted to be a part of, and to have it turn into reality. That's the crazy part. It's real. I'm here. I'm doing it. And I could tell people, now that people are a little bit more open about this subject, I could tell people, going, I did this, I did that, and we went to one of the world's most haunted locations. It was what an amazing night. So,
can you tell me which location it was?
Billy Bishop Legion Hall.
Okay.
It is listed as one of the world's haunted locations, and I can tell you, yeah, it's very active.
Is it?
It's very active.
What kind of stuff happened?
I can't say a whole lot except what I experienced.
Yes, exactly. Like, what, as a medium, what did you feel in that space?
I felt that there were a few spirits walking around the hall, and there was definitely, when I went downstairs, the 2 levels. Downstairs, I could always feel 3 spirits following me, like we're being watched. And when I was upstairs, I was walking towards the stairs leading down, and for whatever reason, I walked around something, and for whatever reason, I didn't know why I had to walk around. And so I found out later on, in that very spot, a man died there.
And you intuitively walked around it.
Yeah,
How
as if there was a body in that very
right.
spot. I had to walk around it. And I go, wow. I,
That's cool.
yeah, I wasn't even looking for it. I was just intuitively picking up that there was something there, right?
Hmm.
I didn't want to, disturb it, right?
So did you go in like, so did you go in just like wide open, like the same way we do for like podium work, where you like all systems open? I don't know
Oh,
what's a
for
better way to
sure.
say that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And as one of the mediums in the team, I don't have any equipment with me.
Right. So the investigators have all the equipment
Hmm.
and you're going in, you are the equipment because you're a medium. So you're your
Exactly.
own equipment.
Exactly.
And
I just simply borrow the equipment from the team just to simply verify or validate what I
right.
found. Yes.
Okay, so another super curious question, because we both do podium work, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we both do mediumship for our clients, right? So where we're talking with spirit guides and dearly departed. So when you're doing mediumship and we're bringing people through the veil or talking with people through the veil, does that feel different than this haunted location?
For me, it does.
It does, hey?
Yes. But there are similarities in the mechanisms
Right. So
where
tell me more.
where it's still the spirits in
Right.
their world. There's the spirit world as in the loved ones that we bring through from the other side. And then there are spirits that are still want to stick around, want to hang out in their favorite locations. And a lot of times, those are not actually spirits, they're just their energies imprinted into the locations. But
Right.
their personalities are still there because they hung out there for such a long time. For example, a Legion Hall.
Hmm.
A gentleman may have hung out there every single night for a beer. He loved that location so much that when he passed away, his energy is imprinted in that location.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a different energy. You know, you're feeling energy. You're picking up the energies in the location. Whereas when the spirit comes through from the other side, being the conduit between our world and the spirit world, you're picking up another energy, and they're talking through you, right?
Yeah.
But in a investigation, I'm just telling you what I pick up, their personality, what they did, what they like, and then we start to ask questions too.
So this is such great information because I find there's a difference when I do podium work and I'm talking with dearly departed or a spirit guide. And it's the same thing when I channel for clients. And then if I'm doing like witchcraft work and I've called a circle and I call down a goddess energy, that has a different texture to it. And when I'm clearing a space, like when I do house clearings, that has a different texture to it as well. And like you said, it's the same, you're using the same tools, but it just feels a little different. You can tell the difference. So it means so much to me to get that information from you that kind of confirms my own experience with these things.
Absolutely. For example, when you go to a party or before you enter the house, you never know what you're going to get,
Hmm.
right? And so you enter the room and you walk around the kitchen, the living room, and you sense different energies in that room. And you never know what you're going to get because there's going to be some people who are a little bit toxic, or some people with good vibes, and some people with bad vibes, or you could probably sense their energies or intentions or how they're going to behave, and the whole 9 yards in that room. That's similar like reading the room.
Right.
And so I'm using that analogy for an investigation where I walk into a location, I never know what I'm going to get.
Right.
I never know. Am I going to pick up a male? I'm going to pick up female. What names I'm going to pick up? Or did anything bad happen to this location? Because not all haunted locations are bad.
True.
People think the word haunted and go, "Oh, it's so creepy and bad," but it's not. It's just these spirits were people too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and because we do the work, like I know for myself, I've gotten to a place where like there really is no good or bad. It's just energy.
Correct. Yes,
And
absolutely.
and people are just people. Like people aren't really good or bad. Like everyone has their their character attributes and their character defects, right? No one person is all shiny, bright sparkles, and no one person is just blackness. Like everyone is shades of gray.
Exactly.
Yeah, I find the spirit realm is very similar.
They are. They are. And just like similar to doing podium work
Mhm.
or being on the platform, once you enter the church or if you're doing a demonstration of mediumship in a public place,
Mhm.
you never know what loved one's going to come through.
No, but I do trust my guides. Like and I know you're the same way. Like I have spirit guides. They're my close friends. Like I trust them,
Exactly.
right? Like I trust the guides I work with on a regular basis. I trust that I will be safe and protected. I put a lot of oomph into my body protector and my soul protector. Like,
Oh, for sure. Same
yeah.
with me. I set my intentions always set your intentions before anything anything else.
Hmm.
Before you do your work, before you enter a location, or if you're at a psychic fair,
Hmm.
before the fair even starts, set your intention, protect yourself. Not really protecting yourself from bad energy, but to protect yourself because there's going to be a lot of energies coming into your space,
Yes.
right? So you need that boundary as well.
It's interesting because I've thought a lot about boundaries, and one of the things that I find interesting is try to say this delicately, working with clients who don't have great boundaries in their day-to-day life often don't have great boundaries in their spirit life and therefore can have other people's energy flow and energy in a space affect them quite a bit,
That's right.
even though they don't want to take on other energy. Like they need help with learning how to say no on all levels.
Oh, for sure, because when you're so a lot of the psychic fairs are like 5 6 hours,
Yeah.
and so if you don't establish those energetic boundaries from the get-go, you can be so drained at the end.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is because like I had to learn that. I had to learn boundaries in my physical world.
Yes, yes.
So the reason I recognize it, I've done that job, done that work.
Exactly. I find that if, like you said, if the people who don't establish those boundaries from the get-go, personal life and their spiritual life, it's you have to do it.
Hmm.
If you don't establish those boundaries and say no in your personal life, you're going to be so tired. And by the time you get to the fair, you're not going to be giving quality readings because you're tired.
Yeah.
Your readings are not going to be subpar, and rather rather be off service, you're being disservice.
Hmm.
You're doing a disservice to your client.
And to yourself,
Exactly.
to your clients and to yourself.
You're supposed to enjoy what you're doing, and you're supposed to come away after the 5 hours with high vibes
I
and
know,
feeling
right?
so good from what you did during the day or the afternoon. But if you don't feel that great at the end, then something's amiss.
Yeah. I know there's lots of fairs that I've left and I go, I can't believe I get paid to do this. Like,
Exactly.
like I go to my job at like my muggle job and I slog away and I'm like, they damn well better pay me. But I leave a psychic fair and I'm like, I can't believe I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing. Like years ago, it was like I said from the at the very beginning, I was just a dabbler.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned a fascination I had when I was a kid, and now I'm here actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
I never set out uh, to become a medium. I didn't say, "Oh, that's so cool. I want to become one of those." And oh, that's so cool. I'm gonna do that. I can do. I did not set out to do any of this, and to get paid, which is good because you're exchanging energy,
Yeah, it's
right?
reciprocation.
Yes, exactly. Getting paid for pursuing your interests.
Well, I would even say to pursue your gifts. I think, and I like to take it a step further too. And I have deep thoughts about it, and it's like, okay, because I had to wrap my head around the fact that I do make money at this. I this is a career path for me. So I got to a place where I was like, okay, if I was living in a communal space, like in a village, in a small community, I would be the village witch. You would come to me and I would give you advice and I would tend to your spiritual needs. I would have someone else do the herbology because I suck at that. But I would have a helper that was good at that, right? And we would live in our cottage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my contribution to my community. And other people's contributions would be, that they are good hunters, and other people's contributions would be that they are really good farmers. And we would all put our stuff together. So in a traditional setting, this would be the job I'd be doing. We just live in this weird consumeristic world where a lot of people's gifts are not valued. Not just psychic people, but a lot of artists' gifts aren't valued. A lot of poets' gifts aren't valued. There's very few people that get to make
Exactly.
a musician.
And I find that really sad because a lot of people comment about psychic mediums saying, why are you getting paid for this? If it's a gift, then why are you accepting money for that
Because
gift?
Celine Dion makes money too.
Exactly. Like all these singers, pianists, um,
Even
biomechanical.
architectures, that's a gift. Being able to do the medical school, like you have to be gifted, like you have to be a very studious type of person and a very special person to get through med school and to get through like all that goes into becoming a doctor and that's a gift. There's lots of gifts in the world.
We all have gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and all our gifts are different.
Mm-hmm.
And some people get paid just to stand on stage to talk all day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a gift in itself.
Mm-hmm.
For people who say, why are we getting paid for this? Well, it's like I said earlier, it's just simply an exchange of energy.
Yes.
You give me something, and I'll give you something too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if we don't exchange energy and all becomes one way, then it's not conducive to our work.
Right. Well, it's the laws of reciprocation.
You have to have that back and forth to balance things out.
Mm-hmm.
If we're constantly giving and giving and giving, then at the end of the day, we may not even enjoy what we do as mediums or as healers or
Mm-hmm.
spiritual practitioners and what have you. So we have to enjoy what we're doing. I'm a big believer in loving what you do. And if you don't love what you do, pick another profession.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
I
like
love
agreeing with you.
you and I both, we love what we do.
We do. I do love doing
Yes.
this.
Yes. I enjoy doing the readings. I enjoy meeting the clients. I absolutely enjoy giving healings and teaching people.
I
And
love teaching. I
I love
love
teaching.
teaching classes.
Yes,
That's my favorite thing.
exactly. And it's it's absolutely empowering to be able to share my gift and share my knowledge and say, hey, this is fascinating. I want to share it with all of you guys, and be able to teach the metaphysics, mediumship, and how we can connect with the spirit world and learn more about what the spirit world can have for us. It's absolutely amazing. It's a Our world is so amazing. The world of mediumship, the world of healing, the world of metaphysics, and in your case, as a identified witch, a tarot card extraordinaire.
Yes, card slinger.
It's Our world is full of. It's kind of like Harry Potter.
It is.
It
And
it's so fascinating, so magical, and so extraordinary in the knowing about the unknown and turning turning the unknown into the knowing, and
mhm.
go, oh wow, I didn't know about this, but now I know because the spirit has communicated with us in that way.
One of the things I love about teaching is it helps me learn. Like it sounds so weird, but every time I teach something, I learn something. I learn more about my subject matter that I'm good at because I'm pretty good at the cards. But every time I teach, it forces me to dive a little bit deeper and go, okay, I have this information. I know this information, but why do I know it? Where does it come from? How can I give this information to someone in a digestible way? So it forces me to learn my craft better. And then I learn from the students' learning and from their feedback and how they process. And like I was thinking when you're talking about how expansive and beautiful this is, this world we're in, I've gotten to the point where I think the more I know I don't know, but in a beautiful way, in that you learn how much is there. Like it's such an expansive place. Like it's the thoughts that you can come up with, the way you can work, the different ways you can apply your craft, the different things you can apply, the laws of attraction and sympathetic magic and manifestation and the different modalities you can dive into and hone. It's just such a massive.
It's endless. The learning is
Yeah.
endless. There's the list of topics that we can learn, and the list of topics that we can teach is it's out of this world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I
It's
like learning some of the more quote unquote lost art, right? Like I don't know a lot of palmists. I don't know a lot of tea leaf readers. I don't know a lot of people who are good at psychometry. Like there's a lot of arts out there that are so interesting.
Oh, for sure. I know a few. I know one person who does tea leaves. I know one person who does palmistry, and we both know. And you're right. It's a lost art, and we have to find a way to not have them lost anymore.
Mm-hmm. I want to
And
get better at scrying. I haven't put any time into.
I can go on all night just talking about metaphysics.
I know. Well, we're going to have to wrap it up though. We've got an hour worth of conversation that I'm going to edit down. Thank you, Cindy, so much. It's been so fun.
Oh, thank you, Jody, for having me.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Is your Facebook for your business?
It's Soul Provider Healing Arts,
Excellent.
and you can see my picture on it. There's a picture of me, and if you don't see a picture of a Chinese woman, that's not my page. So
I'll put a picture of you in the show notes too.
okay.
And do you have any events what event? Well, you're often at the First United Spiritualist Church development class.
Yes, I'm there. I'm there every Wednesday, either teaching or being one of the co-hosts. And I believe there's an event coming up, but it's on March 4th, which I've been partaking. It would be the Billy Bishop fundraiser, where my paranormal investigation team and I will be there hosting a dinner.
Oh, wow.
And we'll be showcasing some of the equipment that we use for paranormal investigation.
And what is the name of the paranormal troupe you're working with?
I work with Cornerstone Supernatural.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Well, good. I think that's everything. I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to let you get back to your day.